Right, OK, England are tied 1-1 with India heading into the third test in Rajkot. That starts tomorrow, and we are joined by former England captain Michael Atherton. He joined us to look ahead to that now. Good morning to you, Michael. Always good to speak to you. What do you make of the team for the third test? It's only just been announced in the last hour or so. One James, Mark Wood in, Shoaib Bashir out.
Yeah, I think it's a sensible change. I've just come back from the ground in Rajkot. The pitch looks a little bit more evenly grassed than the first two games. So they slightly changed the balance of the side, bringing in the extra seamer, which I think is the right thing to do. It makes England less vulnerable at the toss if the coin goes against them, gives them a little bit more firepower in the attack. They've still got plenty of spin options as well. So I think it's a better balanced side for the conditions.
And Michael, James Anderson found a bit of form, didn't he, in that second test? He struggled a little bit last summer. What is he, 5 away from 700 test wickets? I mean, how impressed were you with what you saw last time out for England?
Well, he's an incredible cricketer, isn't he? As you say, he had a difficult summer, and he's 41 years of age now, so he's no spring chicken, but he bowled brilliantly in that last test match. Visakhapatnam, he'll have a little bit more support with Mark Wood here in this game. Wood himself played as the lone seamer in the first test match. So I think it's to the advantage of both of them that will have each other to lean on and have a little bit more support in the seam department. But Anderson bowled excellently at Vizag. No reason why he won't do it here again in Rajkot.
Sadly, there will be no Jack Leach. He's ruled out for the whole series. One, how much of a blow is that? And is it a foregone conclusion that he would have played tomorrow?
Well, it's certainly a blow for Jack Leach, obviously, and especially given the injuries and illness that he's had over the last 3 or 4 years. He's missed a lot of test matches. When he came back in Hyderabad, that was on the back of an 8-month break from a stress fracture of the spine. So he's not blessed with good luck as far as injuries and illness are concerned. So desperately unlucky for him. But, you know, England are well covered. They've got a lot of faith in the young spinners that they've got here. The one who is the left-arm spinner, so similar to Jack Leach, is Tom Hartley. And he's had an excellent couple of test matches. I think he's the joint leading wicket taker in the series at the moment, or maybe second highest wicket taker in the series. But he got 7 on debut in the second innings at Hyderabad. And he's proved his worth with bat and ball at the moment. So maybe they'll not miss Jack Leach as much as they might have feared at the start of the trip, because he is by far the most experienced spinner that they had in the squad.
The second test, Michael, ended with that 100-run victory for India, but it kind of really didn't feel that way. Does that demonstrate the belief in this England team right now? And I guess you hope they can take that through to the third test.
Yeah, both games have been highly competitive. I mean, it was a stunning victory for England in Hyderabad. The defeat in Vizag, you know, the margin of it was reasonable, 100 runs. But as you say, for a lot of the game, it didn't quite feel like that. It felt as though England had a sniff, even though they were a long way behind on first innings. They bowled brilliantly to give themselves a chance on that fourth day. I mean, India were good value for it in the end. The series is beautifully poised, 1 apiece, 3 to play for. Here, Ranchi and Dharamshala. So, yeah, an absolutely intriguing series so far. Very hard to call which way it will go. But I think England will come off the break. They've just had a week in Abu Dhabi, and they'll come off that feeling probably a little bit more confident, or quietly confident, than they would have done maybe at the start of the trip, with India so strong at home. But, you know, India have shown some vulnerabilities in the 2 test matches that we've seen so far.
You mentioned how the pitch will affect the bowlers, and which is why Mark Wood is back in. But what about the batters? Is this going to be a better surface for the batters? And if so, does that actually favour England more than India?
Well, historically, it's been a better surface here. I mean, there've only been 2 test matches in Rajkot. England played the first of them in 2016. But both tests have been quite high scoring. I think they've been 900s over those 2 tests. 4 of England's batters got hundreds in 2016. But that's a long time ago. Pitches change and conditions can change. But from what I saw today, it looks a perfectly reasonable surface. And, you know, we'll wait and see. It's not that hot at the moment. You know, India, depending on the time of year that you come, England were here before Christmas for the World Cup, and it was much hotter and more humid. It's slightly cooler now. Maybe that's helping hold the pitches together a little bit more. But, you know, who knows? That 5 days is a long time. Lots can change over a 5-day game. That's the point of a test match. But at the moment, a day out, it looks a pretty good surface.
And just finally, Michael, a word on Ben Stokes. It will be, won't it, a very special day for him. He becomes the 16th player to play 100 test matches for England. We've been looking back at some incredible moments of drama and success and just sheer brilliance. For you, how does his England career stack up against some of those greats?
Oh, well, he's been an undeniably great cricketer for England, no question about that. With bat and ball, you can think of so many moments just looking at that catch there off Stuart Broad at Trent Bridge, which brought back some memories. And that one, which I was commentating on when he switch hit Nathan Lyon into the Western Terrace. I think that is the innings that everybody will remember him for at Headingley in the Ashes, but there have been so many to choose from. And the last part of his career, or this phase of his career, you know, is being dominated by his captaincy. And I think he's going to go down as a great England captain. From what he's done with the team so far, having turned around a team that, you know, had only won 1 in 17 to where they are now, is an incredible turnaround with pretty much the same group of players, or 1 or 2 different, but not that many. So that's just one more chapter that he's in the middle of writing at the moment. And he's got a bit to go. He's doing a bit of bowling actually on this tour in practice. So he's trying to get back to being the all-rounder that he was, because in the last year or so, he's been essentially playing as a captain with the bowling, not part of his armoury, but he's trying to get back to that. And if he can, and just get a few more years out of him being an all-round cricketer again, that will help England's balance of the side. But he's been a great cricketer, been fantastic to watch and appreciate.
Yeah, thanks very much. It is perfectly poised, isn't it, for tomorrow? And I'm sure every member of that England squad would love to do it for him, wouldn't they, on his 100th test. Thanks for your time. Enjoy the next few days.
I will do. Thanks.